Mounts in New World Aeternum offer a huge mobility boost, and not having one can often leave you behind in terms of completing quests, gathering resources, and also put you at a competitive disadvantage in game modes such as Outpost Rush and also New World's PvP zone down in Cutlass Keys. So in today's video, we're going to be covering how to unlock your mount, level it up, apply different skins, and other general tips and tricks when it comes to mounts in New World Aeternum. So in order to unlock your mount in New World Aeternum, there are two things you first have to do, and you can check out what these things are by pressing X on the keyboard or right on the D-pad for controller. That is reach level 20 and complete My Kingdom for a Horse. So let's just first of all focus on that level 20, and then we'll explain what My Kingdom for a Horse is. So once you do hit level 20, and by the way, this works for any level after level 20 as well, it doesn't specifically have to be level 20, you'll see a quest pop up in the north of Everfall. So right on the border of Everfall and Brightwood, we have this quest over here, and it says acquire a mount. So if we head over to this area, we can then follow on with that quest line, and spoilers, this is the Kingdom for a Horse, so this is the other part of the message that we're getting here. So let's head up to the top of Everfall and see what this quest entails, shall we? As with pretty much every other quest in New World Aeternum, we can talk to this NPC and he'll have a bunch of dialogue for us, we can respond, and then towards the end of the dialogue, he's going to give us some quest directions, and we can see we get some rewards over there, including a mount. We can get a horse. So we accept this quest, and we're going to get the quest dialogue up in the top right of the quest direction to investigate the area by the lake for the signs of the beast lords. And we just go slightly over east, southeast, bring up the map as well to check we're going in the right direction. We're going to head over here. Once we arrive at the cave, our quest objective is going to update in the top right to commune with the beast lords at the mural. We can just press square on the controller here, or I guess that would be X on the Xbox controller, F by default on the keyboard. We'll get some dialogue or a little bit of a talking from one of the beast lords, and then we can move further into the cave to harvest some Azoth infused oats. So again, we'll just use the interact button here. While we're in this cave, there is a symbol on the wall. So if we place our hand here, we'll unlock the symbol. This is I think it's the sign of the horse or something like that, the Horse Lord signet. Now, this isn't really going to make a whole lot of sense for those of you who have only just started playing the game. This is a mechanic for much, much later on. Once you hit level 65, you can use these symbols down in the Elysian Wilds to open special chests. But we'll probably have a separate video on that. If you're interested in chests and how to unlock those symbols, link up in the top right on how that works. But yeah, our objective now is to search for horse to bond with. And we can see just over there, as we come out the cave, there is a horse that looks like we can bond with it. So we're going to bring our Azoth infused oats over to said horse. So again, we can press the interact button, talk to the friendly horse. It says the horse is calmly licking its lips and looking for a snack. If I had removed my camera, you can see we can feed it oats. Sometimes I had to wait a second for that to pop up, by the way. You see it's not immediately there. Just give it a second, and then there we go. We can feed the horse some oats. The horse takes the oats and whinnies gratefully. Move the dialogue along, and then it's going to disappear. And now we can go back to Jochi Khan, the NPC again, to hand in the quest and get our first mount. So Jochi's got some dialogue for us again, and here we go. The quest reward, the ability to ride a mount, 500 mount XP, and also a mount itself. So complete quest. There we go. We got Moonshadow, and we got one riding level. So if we go through some more dialogue here, he's going to offer us another quest. But the first thing when it comes to this quest is understanding how you actually get the mount. Because again, if I press right on the D-pad, oh no, it does actually work straight away. I don't think it should. That's because I already own a mount. So if I open up that inventory to check those rewards that Jochi just gave me, I can see that I have Moonshadow. So we press square to open Moonshadow, or whatever the keybind is that you guys are seeing down in the bottom right. And we will get Moonshadow added to our sort of mount ability. And now when you press right on the D-pad, you will summon Moonshadow. Now, because mounts are account bound, I already have a different mount selected, but let's just pretend that I haven't already purchased a mount on this account, and we'll just go ahead and put Moonshadow on. There we go. We can now summon Moonshadow, and then you can ride around. But you will notice you still have sort of like a pending quest from Moonshadow, and that is to mount up and ride to the starting line. Now, again, you don't have to do this quest. If you want to, you can you finish the mount quest, you have unlocked your mount, and you can go from here. But one thing you'll notice is your mount is pretty slow to get started. The way mounts work is they're a lot faster on roads, but if you go off-road, you're not really going to be that much faster than you would be if you were just sort of dodge rolling around. But you can increase your mount's movement speed by leveling up your riding skill. So if we open up the map here and then we head over to character and then to trade skills, you can see your riding level is 1. That's the little bit of XP that Joshi gives you. But you can see once we get to level 50, we get a speed bonus, and then at 100, we get a speed bonus, and then 150 speed bonus, and so on and so forth. And these do actually significantly increase the speed of your mount. The best way to level up the mount to get this riding skill experience is actually to do these quests. So you're going to get these quests dotted around the map. It starts with this one over here. So I highly recommend you don't ignore this quest at this point and take part in it. So all you got to do is basically ride through these checkpoints here, one after another, within the allotted time. So you can see we've got 30 seconds up in the top right to hit the next checkpoint. If we press right trigger, I can't remember what it is on mouse and keyboard. It'll pop up and it'll tell you on the screen what your speed button is. Hold on, let me switch over to mouse and keyboard, then I can remember what it is. It's shift, of course. It immediately came to me as soon as I put my hand on the keyboard. It's weird. The muscle memory's there, but my brain isn't working. Anyway, we complete this. So we'll skip through this for the video, and I'll show you guys me earning the XP. Also, one thing I should mention is I recommend that you don't go off-road when you're doing this. Again, as we mentioned, if you go off-road, you're going to be a lot slower. So pretty much just stick to the road when you're doing these quests. It'll make it a lot easier. Sometimes, maybe in the later versions of these, you do want to go cross-country, but especially for this one, just stick to the road. So we finished the quest. Now we can go back to talk to Jochi-Khan and get our reward for that rally quest. So let's open up the map. Hopefully you guys have picked up the fast travel point that was near Jochi, and then we can just go back and talk to him and, again, get our reward here. And here he is again, the little rapscallion. Hello, Jochi-Khan. So he's impressed with our riding ability and our bond with the horse, and he gives us quite a lot of riding XP. We get 6,000 riding XP, which puts us to level 14, and he's going to teach us one more secret to mounts here. And this is honestly something that I never really did for my mount, but you can do if you want. So if you go to a cooking station, so in this case just a campfire, but I guess you can use the actual like cooking crafting stations in settlements, you can make mount victuals. So you're going to need water, milk, barley, and then these vitamins or vitamins, which you earn from doing the mount quest. So either way, I think you do still need to do the mount quest in order to be able to make the mount victuals. But if we craft this item here, boom, and then what we can do is just get on our mount. So press right on the D-pad, X on the keyboard, and if we open up our inventory here, go down to the victuals, which we have, they got that little quest icon next to them, and we can use actions on this, and then we can just actually use the item, and that's going to give us some more riding XP. So that gets us another 2,500. One other thing to note here is Jochi does then have another quest. So if we talk again, you say, and these races will do that, and then we accept quest. What's going to happen now is when we open up the map, we're going to see a bunch of quests all over the place in Everfall. So we have a mount quest over here, another one of those rally things, or a tour. And then over here, we've got another 2 mount quests as well. Now, you can do these basically as you please. You know, you don't need to do them straight away. But every time you complete them, it's going to give you a decent chunk of riding XP, which is then going to increase your mount's movement speed. So the sooner you do them, the faster your mount will be, which means the rest of the game and questing and the quality of life that provides is also there as well. So again, it's not, you don't have to do them, but if you do them sooner, your mount is going to move quicker, which then kind of makes everything after that also faster as well. Another big benefit to completing all of these mount quests is you will then get a quest to move into the next region. So once we completed all these quests, I think you then go back to talk to Jochi, and then Jochi will send you into Weaver's Fen, and then there's a Weaver's Fen NPC somewhere around here, and he has you do a bunch of quests, and then when you complete all of those, you go back to him, and he sends you up to Great Cleave. And then when you're in Great Cleave, you do a bunch of quests there. And at that point, they will give you another mount type. They will give you a wolf mount. And you can keep doing this to earn a lion mount as well. Now, one of the way that you can earn a different type of mount is simply just to go to the store. So if I open up this tab here, and then we go to the store tab, you can simply just buy different mount types off of the store as well. So I've picked up a few here. As you can see, on this server, we basically just have monopoly money, so I can buy whatever I want. If you do buy a different mount, or if you pre-ordered New World Aeternum and you have the Azoth Stalker and you want to equip it, all you have to do is open up your inventory and then go over to the mount tab, so you can switch along here, or you can simply select it, and you'll have your mount tab where we can equip attachments, but we can also change the way the mount looks as well. So if we select Moon Shadow here, it's going to bring up this menu, and then we can see we have horses, we got direwolves, there's the Azoth Stalker, there's lions, and there's bears. Now, in terms of the different types of mounts, like, are there any differences between direwolf and horse, or between direwolf and lion? No, there aren't actually really any differences. Other than the way it looks, it's pretty much just a cosmetic thing. The direwolf mounts move at the same speed as the lion mounts. The lion mounts move at the same speed as the horse mounts. They don't have any extra health. They don't have any extra benefits. They just kind of look different. Some of them look cooler than others. I think most of the direwolves look pretty awesome. But, you know, if there's a particular aesthetic you're going for, like I say, you can keep following the mount quest. So if you finish all of these in Windsward, you then send it over to Weaver's Fen. You finish all of those, you then send over to Great Cleave. You finish all of those, you get a wolf mount. And then you go to Ebonscale, you finish all of those, you get a lion mount. And they might continue after that and give you the bear. I don't know if that's the case at this point in time. But either way, as you do them, you are going to be earning mount XP, which is going to increase your riding level and make you move faster. The last couple things that I wanted to cover in terms of mounts in New World Aeternum are the attachments. So we saw that screen briefly when we were talking about changing the mount's appearance. So again, if we open up our inventory and go over to the mount tab, you'll notice that we have a few slots here now. So this one gets unlocked at mount riding level 40. This one's at 250. These two in particular, these shoe slot and the strap add-on slot, are pretty important for your mount's overall performance. These actually make a difference to how fast the mount moves or how quickly it regains mount stamina, etc. So we did earn 2 items here. We got the basic Redono mount charm, and it says it gives a small boost to dash recharge rate. And we have another one which says it gives a small boost to mount dash when on road. I like the on-road or the off-road one in particular. I think that one makes the most big of a difference. And as you complete mount quests, and even like much later on in the game when you do high-level dungeons, you have the chance to earn a legendary version of this, which will give you a significant boost to your dash speed when you're on road. So I'm going to put that on because, again, you do want to spend most of the time on the roads, especially when you're doing the mount quests. And then at this point, I'd probably just go around and do a few more mount quests myself. There is another aspect to mounts that we saw here, and that was that other sort of slot down here. This is basically just a cosmetic slot. So you have also attachments, and we can put this cloth sack on here. And all this does is basically just add, you know, something to the side of your mount. So I've got a cloth sack there, and that's it. That's literally all it does. It just adds a sack or whatever the attachment is to the side of your mount. Now, one thing that is a little bit confusing here, if we go to the store, some of you guys might choose to do this. We go to the store and we go to mount attachments, which are down here. And let's say that we want to pick up, I don't know, let's get the cooking equipment, shall we? We buy the cooking mount attachment skin. I think you earn some of these from like the battle pass and stuff, so you'll get a few of these in the game. It's a little bit confusing how these work, because what you're going to do now is you won't see it added to the mount section. If we go up to the mount tab here and we take a look, it's, you know, like get on the mount. Do we have like a frying pan now on our mount? You can see, no, we still got the cloth sack. It's like, it's not a frying pan. So the way this actually works is the same way that you apply skins to your character. So you would have to go here and then you would change skin, and you can change the sort of way that your character's chest looks. It's the same with the mount attachments as well. So again, if we go over to the mount section and then we click on the sack itself and then we change the skin of it, we can see all the different sort of skins. So we can have an attachment look like a different sort of attachment, if that makes sense. So maybe a little bit complicated, but where's our frying pans? There we go, got there in the end. Apply, and then what we should see, yeah, now our cloth sack has turned into a little bunch of pots and pans. Pretty underwhelming, to be honest. I don't think it's worth the $3 or whatever that costs. But there you go. That's how to change your mount attachment as well. That one came up surprisingly often in the Twitch chat when it was first introduced, so I thought we'd just cover that. But I think that's pretty much everything that's important when it comes to mounts. Do the mount quest to level up the riding skill. You can go faster when you're on roads. Make sure you attach those charms. The attachments have the skins. Oh, and one other important thing that I do want to cover. This is probably the most important part of the video. If you hold down L1 and right trigger, so I think it's L1 right trigger, you can pet your mount. And if you want to do it on mouse and keyboard, you just press G, the G key, and you can pet your mount. That, again, if nothing else, I feel like it's probably the most valuable bit of info from this video. So you are welcome, friends. As always, if you want to find more New World content, more New World Aeternum content, we have many videos here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe. You'll get updated as videos come out. It does help the channel if you want to give back some love. Subscribing is the best way you can do it. You can also tune into the stream as well. If you want to go the extra mile and say, hey, Baggins, that was a Poggers video, I'll put a link to my Twitch channel in the description down below. If you want to hang out with me over there, leave the stream on while you're cooking, while you're working, while you're just doing stuff in New World. It is much appreciated. But yeah, that is it for the video, friends. I will catch you guys all in the next one. See you soon.